I can see two ways of looking at this, and I'll start with the area further south of you in Fort Myers and Cape Coral and Punta Gorda. I went out there. I'll just tell you a quick story. I mentioned I have a lot of family there, including my parents and brothers, and I went out there and I asked them. I said, why did you guys not leave? Why did we not worry about this? And the conception was two things that I kept hearing. One, they thought this was Tampa's storm. They really believed that. And the second one is they based it on past experiences. And Hurricane Irma in 2017 did come through that area, but they didn't see much consequences from that event. And they believe that they survived the worst of Irma in 2017, but the worst of Irma that year went over the Everglades and even onto the east coast of Florida, not on the southwest part of the state. And there were these sort of bad preconceptions about what major hurricanes can do because they were basing it off of something like Irma, or even the longer term residents basing off of it something like Charlie that was a lot smaller and fast moving and delivered a smaller consequence area of significant damage. So I guess one of the things that I kind of want the viewers to realize is please don't sort of connect past experiences to what this one's going to do, because unless you were in the thick of it and got a direct impact, your experiences could be quite different. Also, I think your community in the Tampa Bay area, they got so much new population in that area. And I know you have a city that's sort of exploding in growth, a lot of non-traditional residents, meaning people who haven't experienced this. So you're right. We don't want people thinking that they sort of got through this event because it was a non-event for the Tampa area. So hopefully they'll remember what happened just 80, 100 miles to your south and how consequential it was for those communities. So Rebecca, I'll certainly pass it to you from here.
I think for me, what I'm looking forward to learning more about from this season, especially concerning Ian, is how we can better message the risks based on where you will be when the storm passes over you. And in reference to what John just talked about, most Floridians have only experienced tropical storm force winds. A very finite number of us have experienced hurricane winds. Even if you've been through a hurricane, so to speak, a lot of times the hurricane force winds are so compact and so succinct that it only impacts a very small area of what the entire storm impacts. And so when I think about past storms that we've been through and past seasons that we've been through, most of us have only experienced tropical storm force winds, and that still knocks out a lot of power, widespread power outages just from tropical storm force winds, much less actual even worse damage that we could see from hurricane force winds. And of those that have seen the hurricane force winds, very, very few of those have seen major hurricane force winds. And so I just wish that people would consider when they're making that evacuation decision that they've probably never seen anything like what we're describing is going to impact a succinct area. I think we can do better messaging moving forward graphically, as well as, how we talk about it versus which side of the storm is going to experience the storm surge, which side of the storm just has to worry about wind. And I think that there will be some developments and changes with the track and how we communicate those risks, because people just focus on that center line on the track and they think, well, it's not over my house, so I'm fine. But the impacts are so far outside of the track and so varied based on which side of the storm that you end up on. I think that the change needs to come in our messaging and in our graphics and how we can better convey that.